How did the cold grow stronger with each passing winter night in Montana? This growing cold set the stage for a larger disaster ahead soon. What happened when temperatures reached -24 degrees across Montana towns? Pipes burst in homes and water stopped flowing in many neighborhoods. Suddenly, power lines iced over and some towns lost heat for hours long. Roads became glassy and travel stopped for safety reasons everywhere across the state. Emergency crews rescued people trapped in cars during night storms. Cold winter. Weather agencies reported record cold numbers from many Montana stations that week. Scientists from national climate centers compared this event to past freezes carefully. They said such deep cold now appears in unusual places more often. Health departments warned that frostbite and breathing trouble would rise quickly during waves. Thermometers fell steadily as Arctic air settled over towns and farms nearby. The cold wave showed how fast normal winter can turn dangerous for families. Why did many people say this cold felt different from past winters? Residents told reporters their heaters failed even when used all night long. Parents worried about children waiting for buses in painful wind each morning. Elderly neighbors said walking outside felt risky after only minutes during storms. Farm workers described frozen tools and animals refusing to leave shelters outside. Local leaders asked for help as heating fuel supplies dropped quickly across towns. Health officials said cold air can harm lungs and hearts easily during waves. Doctors from state hospitals reported more breathing trouble and frost injuries this week. Scientists from national climate agencies listened to stories to study human effects carefully. Scientists from NOAA measured temperatures dropping below normal by many degrees daily. Their words showed cold waves are not just numbers on charts for families. How did normal daily routines break when the cold stayed so long? Schools closed because buses could not start in extreme morning temperatures safely. Shops struggled to open as workers could not travel on icy roads. Water systems froze and families waited hours for repair help from crews. State health offices tracked rising injuries using reports from local hospitals daily. The Centers for Disease Control warns cold stress increases heart problems during waves. Wind made the cold bite harder and freeze skin very quickly outside. Power use rose as heaters worked all night in many homes. Weather offices warned that exposed skin could freeze within minutes easily outside. Hospitals reported more cold injuries as nights grew longer and colder together. Farmers struggled to protect animals from wind and deep freezing weather conditions. Researchers say warming Arctic areas can send colder air southward more often. Electric companies ask people to lower heat to protect the grid during nights. Food delivery slowed because trucks could not move through snow safely often. Scientists from NOAA say such stress shows how cold disrupts systems quickly. How did families share small acts of care during the long freeze? Neighbors checked on older people and brought soup across icy streets slowly. Food banks worked longer hours because many stores could not open then. Health workers visited shelters to check breathing and skin injuries often daily. Scientists say human stories help explain risks beyond charts and maps clearly. Reports from the National Weather Service showed cold lasted many days straight. The Centers for Disease Control link cold waves with higher illness rates. These shared experiences taught towns to prepare together for future freezes better. Quiet Help showed how people face climate stress with simple kindness daily. Frozen and tangled. Faust. Why did Montana suddenly freeze at -24 degrees this winter? People woke to thick ice on windows and painful cold outside everywhere.
This cold felt different because it came fast, suddenly, and stayed long. Families asked if such cold was normal for Montana anymore today, really. Scientists say cold waves can grow stronger as climate patterns shift slowly. They study air movement and oceans to understand sudden deep freezes better. Government weather agencies recorded -24 degrees across many towns recently. Such numbers worry experts because extreme cold harms people and animals greatly. Doctors report more breathing trouble and frost injuries during these events often. This story begins with one cold week and a bigger question about what was daily life like before the strange cold arrived suddenly in Montana. Most days felt normal, with light snow and calm winter winds softly. Children walked to school without heavy fear of freezing weather each morning. Farmers planned chores using old winter patterns learned over many years safely. Our systems usually handled cold because temperatures changed slowly and gently before. Stores stayed open and roads remained clear most winter days for travel. Weather experts from national agencies call these conditions typical for the region. Records from climate offices showed winter cold rising and falling gradually over. Scientists at research centers said stable seasons help people prepare safely better. No one expected a sudden plunge to -24 degrees then. When did the weather begin changing in ways people could not expect? Warm air moved north, while cold air stayed trapped over Montana longer. Scientists from national climate agencies noticed the jet stream bending unusually southward. This bending allowed Arctic air to slide down into the plains quickly. Weather maps from NOAA showed fast pressure drops across western states during. These shifts pushed freezing air toward towns that rarely see deep cold. Local forecasters warned that nights would fall far below normal levels soon. Schools prepared shelters because some homes could lose heat quickly overnight during. Hospitals checked supplies as doctors expected more cold-related injuries soon cases. Researchers say early signs showed the storm was not a normal winter. How did experts warn communities before the deep cold finally arrived there? Weather centers issued alerts days ahead using satellite data and models carefully. Scientists from NOAA shared maps showing cold air moving southward slowly daily. Radio stations repeated warnings so people could prepare food and heat early. Schools sent notes home telling families to dress children warmly very daily. Emergency teams checked shelters because power lines can fail during cold extreme. Doctors advised older people to stay inside when winds increased quickly outside. News reports quoted climate researchers saying cold waves may arrive faster now. They explained warmer Arctic areas can weaken the jet stream pattern often. Early warnings tried to save lives before the freezing air arrived suddenly. Why did the sky and wind feel wrong before the cold struck? Clouds moved in strange lines, and snow fell without strong storms suddenly. Temperatures dropped at night, even when days still felt slightly warm outside. Weather tools from climate offices showed patterns they rarely see during winter. Scientists said warm oceans can push cold air into new places far. This strange mix made storms form quickly and vanish just as fast. People noticed weather rules they trusted no longer worked well here now. Farm animals stayed close together as winds changed direction often without warning. Researchers later said these signs show weather is becoming unstable in places. Strange skies were the quiet start of the coming freeze from Montana.
What proof shows this cold wave was real and measured clearly by scientists? Weather stations across Montana recorded -24 degrees for several nights. NOAA data confirmed temperatures were far below the long-term winter average, and the National Weather Service published maps showing Arctic air better covering the region. Hospitals reported higher frostbite cases during the same frozen days across towns. State health offices compared this event with earlier winters using medical records. Climate scientists say warmer Arctic areas can weaken normal wind paths over time. This allows cold air to drop south more easily into states during winter. Research from NASA and NOAA links these shifts to rising global heat. These facts show the freeze followed known science and careful measurement methods. Why does warming Earth sometimes bring colder air down to Montana suddenly? Scientists say Arctic ice loss changes how high winds move around the planet. These winds guide cold air and warm air together across large lands. When the jet stream bends, cold air can travel farther south quickly. NASA and NOAA explain this bending happens as the Arctic warms faster. Warmer oceans also push weather systems into strange new paths, sometimes northward. Researchers at climate centers study these shifts using long records from satellites. They compare today's cold waves with patterns from many past winters carefully. Their studies show cold can grow stronger during a warming world sometimes. This is why scientists link Montana's freeze to climate change today clearly. How is this cold wave connected to long-term climate change clearly? Scientists from NASA say global warming changes how air moves in worldwide patterns. Warmer Arctic regions weaken the winds that usually hold cold north securely. This lets freezing air slide south into states like Montana more often. NOAA reports these swings between warm and cold are becoming stronger over time. Climate change does not stop cold, but can make extremes sharper and sudden. Research centers study many years of data to see this pattern clearly. They find cold waves now appear in places not used before there. These links are shared by scientists from climate agencies worldwide today. Understanding this connection helps people see why cold disasters may grow again. Who faces the greatest danger when deep cold strikes Montana communities suddenly? Doctors say older people lose body heat faster and need warm shelter. Children are at risk because small bodies cool down very quickly often. Health experts from the CDC warn poor families lack strong home heating. People with lung or heart illness suffer more in freezing air often. Farm workers and drivers must stay outside longer during dangerous temperatures vary. The World Health Organization says cold stress raises death risk worldwide during link. NOAA reports rural towns struggle more because help arrives slowly there often. These groups feel cold disasters first and recover last after storms usually. Knowing who is at risk helps leaders plan protection before freezes better. How does daily life look now after weeks of hard cold here? Families wear many layers inside because homes stay cool longer during winter. Schools plan shorter outdoor time and watch children for cold signs daily. Stores keep heaters near doors to protect workers from freezing cold winds. Road crews spread salt early because ice forms faster than before now. Health clinics remind people to check neighbors during long cold nights often. Weather officers share simple tips on staying warm and safe every day. Scientists say daily habits must change as cold waves grow stronger slowly. Government agencies prepare more shelters to face future freezes for families everywhere. Life continues, but each cold day feels like a warning to everyone.
What damage can weeks of deep cold leave behind lasting for communities? Frozen pipes and cracked roads cost towns very large repair money often later. Farm fields lose crops when soil stays too hard and dry long. Water systems break and germs can spread when heat fails inside homes. Scientists from state health offices track illness after severe freezes many times. NOAA warns repeated cold waves weaken roads, pipes, and power lines over time.
NASA studies show soil moisture drops after long frozen periods, often here. Damaged homes can stay cold and unsafe for many months afterwards sometimes. Researchers say long damage makes future cold waves harder to survive, much. These losses remind leaders that cold disasters do not end quickly, ever. How can communities reduce harm when extreme cold arrives again suddenly? Scientists say better warning systems give families more time to prepare safely. Climate agencies advise stronger homes with insulation to hold heat longer. Power companies plan upgrades so lines resist ice and wind damage. Schools teach children simple rules for cold safety every winter season. Health groups share clear steps to protect lungs and skin outside. NOAA supports towns with data to plan warm shelters before freezes. NASA studies help leaders see where cold risks will grow next. Experts agree action now can lower danger from future cold waves. Small changes together can save many lives during silent freezing events. Who is helping Montana prepare for colder winters with quiet care today? Local groups collect warm clothes and share them with families in need. Volunteers check on older neighbors during nights when cold feels strongest often. Schools open gyms as shelters when heaters fail during freezing storms sometimes. Health workers teach simple ways to cover skin and breathe safely outside. Scientists share clear maps so towns know where danger will rise next. Climate agencies provide tools to plan shelters before cold waves arrive again. These efforts show people can protect each other during hard weather together. Experts from NOLA say preparation reduces injuries and saves lives every winter. Hope grows when science and kindness work side by side for communities. What lesson does Montana's silent freeze leave for the future about our weather? Scientists warn that extremes will visit more often as climate patterns shift slowly. NOLA and NASA say warming seas and Arctic air change wind paths worldwide. Quiet cold shows how small changes can cause sudden dangerous days for families. Health agencies ask people to prepare early and watch neighbors closely during winters. The National Weather Service urges respect for cold and clear warnings from experts. This story ends, but the risks remain across many cold regions in America. Climate researchers say learning now can protect lives during future freezes across states. Simple steps, shared science, and calm care can reduce hidden fear for everyone. Montana's cold teaches the fever